San Diego has the 5th largest homeless population in the country, estimated to about 8,000 people that are experiencing homelessness. Let's face it, when we drive by a stoplight and see someone homeless holding a sign, we usually ignore them. However, those people have a story, and most of the time, it isn't their fault. You need a job to get an address, and an address to get a job. So it's hard getting back on your feet once you're homeless. I interviewed many people that have experienced being homeless and people that are working to help stop homelessness. I know that it takes a lot more just to give someone homeless $1 on the street. That's why I made this documentary. Because we all make mistakes, and some mistakes are bigger than others. And usually when we make a mistake, our parents or guardians are there to help us. But most of these people that are homeless don't have someone to help them out when they make a mistake. That's why I believe that the homeless community should be able to have second chances and that they are given help. Here are some of their stories. How did this happen?
My father got laid off from his job at Coke.
He was there for a couple, about 13 years, and he got unemployed.
When he did get laid off, he got a severance package. So we thought we'll just, live in a hotel until we can find a place to live. And when you live in a hotel, your money goes so fast. I mean, it goes really fast. We shortly after started running out of money and started finding ourselves staying in our car, having the kids, have to sleep in there, having to stay in parking lots, and only if they allowed it,
Like just everyday activities, like taking showers, brushing your teeth, putting on clothes, just real hard challenge for them.
So every situation is different. It's often, though, multiple problems that happen together. So it's usually not just somebody who lost their job and became homeless.
My home was a car for about 5 years. Well, a battle buddy, former Marine, who recognized me and knew who I was, just happened to ask me when I went to go get something to eat, and he goes, "Do you have a place?" I said, "No." He says, he mentioned about Interfaith, the Veterans Services Housing Program.
And here at Interfaith Community Services, we have this way of bringing a diversity of people together, a diversity of faiths, a diversity of ages, of ethnic backgrounds, languages spoken, faiths believed in, not believed in. Doesn't really matter, all coming together to help one another in their time of need, and that's a really beautiful thing.
The more I spoke with those affected by homelessness, the more I found their reasons were as diverse as their ages, backgrounds, and circumstances.
Well, it was a very lonely existence. It's been some time now, but it seems like it's been 15 years since I was homeless. But in a lot of ways, it seems like it was just yesterday. I remember I would, if I was lucky at times, I would be able to sleep in the back of a friend's van. And I remember, the neighborhoods, the people who lived in the neighborhood, they didn't want, anybody sleeping in a car or in front of their house. So I'd have to move. And I remember getting these little glimpses of, normal life, like maybe a dad coming out in his bathrobe to pick up a newspaper off his lawn, or a mom getting her kids ready to go to a soccer practice, and I just remember just feeling, so disconnected from what was otherwise just this normal world that was just right in front of me.
There's a lot of factors that play into it, from the lack of housing. It's an expensive place to live, so there's the question of affordability, and there's also just decisions that have transpired over the course of time.
The key element in giving someone that second chance is matching their circumstances with the appropriate assistance, organizations, and programs.
It's a circumstance that I believe that no one is ever really ready for, and it's about survival.
It's not good to see that there are so many people who are homeless on the streets and not doing good, but in a way it kind of allows people to open up their eyes and be a little more open-minded and aware of the situations, because, it's not hidden from anyone.
Homelessness, in our experience, and we work with more than 20,000 people here in North San Diego County every year, experiencing all different types of poverty. Homelessness is the result of a lot of challenges and problems in our society, whether it relates to not being able to pay the rent, economic, physical health, mental health, crisis, trauma, addiction issues. A lot of these things often together create homelessness.
How can the average person help stop homelessness?
First thing we could do is we could start acknowledging the homeless folks in our communities as human beings who, are that have the dignity that is inside every one of us as human beings.
Well, now that we've pretty much have a control, there are organizations. We have very good, outstanding, just reputable organizations that will bend over backwards to, by any means necessary, resolve this.
Maybe even telling your kids that there are issues like this, and just so they can, or you can try to take those steps to try to help.
Every once in a while, some people they could be more involved with homeless outreaches, I guess.
The good news is everyone can make a positive impact. If you see somebody on the streets who you think may be experiencing homelessness, you can look that individual in the eye and you can treat them just like you would a brother, a friend, a mother, a sister, or somebody at your school or your place of worship.
The road back from homelessness.
My aunt, she helped us a lot when we were getting back on track and back on our feet. She let us stay in her apartment.
And then eventually my dad got a job and, we were able to get our own place and get on our feet. So it was one of those.
The pain got to be so great and unbearable, the shame and just the being ostracized from society and myself. I guess I was lucky in that I prayed and I asked for help. I went to an organization here in San Diego. They provided me with shelter and with food and clothing and medical assistance and counseling and just more than I could have really ever hoped for. Largely I credit Interfaith Community Services for taking me by the hand in my earliest days, helping me to grow roots and as a human being, now as a member of society, that I was able to get that second chance.
Before I knew it, they not only processed me for intake as a veteran, I had a place to sleep there, place to eat there, and made sure that I maintained the income that I had at the time already.
We have opportunities for people to meet with social workers and connect to identify ways they can get into shelter, housing, if they are looking to address an addiction issue, a treatment program, if they're looking to find a job, an employment resource. Wherever they're at, we try to meet them where they're at and help them move forward in their lives.
My time spent with the homeless and the organizations that support them gives me hope. Anyone given a second chance is given an opportunity, a way to move forward.
Well, I have a balloon decorating and delivery company, and I had the idea way back in the 80s when I was first introduced to the world of balloons. And once I got sober and after I got the help I needed, I was able to channel my energies and focus on developing the company. It has done remarkably well. We are blessed to have a great crew working for us, and we've got a fleet of vans delivering, and we service the whole San Diego area, and I couldn't be happier about it.
I was the first one actually in my family to go to college or even graduate high school, really. I'm going to be attending UCLA in the fall.
I'm extremely impressed with the organizations that are right now working and pushing that envelope to demonstrate that it can be done. They have not stopped, they continue to push, and we will be the actual demonstrators of it is possible, it can be done, don't tell me it can't be. And usually someone that has no box, there's no sky's the limit, let's just do something about it and demonstrate that it can be done.